period 2018-2019, particularly in southern and western provinces, the anticipated reduced harvests are likely to severely constrain household food availability. This worsened the food security conditions. Affected by the erratic and below-average rainfall experienced in the country, weather conditions have had a grave effect on grassroots farming activities. Food security has negatively weighed on the production outlook, putting much of the strain on small and medium-scale farming sectors.
There is a shortage of food and eating is a problem. Sometimes you only harvest a 50 kg bag of rice, others don't even harvest a 50 kg bag of rice.
In response to this situation, Caritas Zambia, through Caritas Kabwe, arose to address a number of issues related to food security, girl-child early marriage, girl attendance at school, through addressing the foundational challenge of decreasing agriculture productivity with a resultant drop in household earnings.
KUMENA project is a project that is focusing on small-scale farmers in Central Province to be particular. It covers about 3 provinces, that is Samba, Chiwombo, and also part of Kapiri. As a project, we have about 8 facilitators working in 3 different areas, which are Liteta, where we are right now. There is another area which is Kizito, and then we have Likumbi, which is quite the furthest area. So in all these 8 areas, we are targeting about 1,050 farmers that we have so far trained in a number of trainings that we started with sustainable organic agriculture, which was the base, like the foundation of all the trainings. We went on to do agroforestry and social issues like gender, HIV, and also non-communicable diseases. So far we have trained more than 95% of the farmers that we're working with.
My name is Michael Tembo, reed farmer by Messi Group in Chitambo village under Kizito. Then these are Tifroja.
Lead farmer of men's group in Chitambo village under Kizito. We use Tefrosia when spraying, and it also works as fertilizer, and it's very good for the soil. Then
there is the cowpeas. They are all very good kupera umfundo.
Bakaturaira bwagwibereha twagatalika guhya hilindi akutalika kubikamu hilindi ihulagaita na aguloga.
We learned how to use organic manure. We did potholing before rain started. Then we planted our seeds. The remaining would be put in our bins. This method is good for us small-scale farmers who can't find money for fertilizer. And it gives good manure to our soil and plants.
Jirapa manure ali gabota kwamba tijihango jiragomena semu byombo ena muri abagisi fertilizer.
I'm doing sustainable organic in Kantondi area, Kantondi village, the Kumbi area. Now, what is on the site here, what you are seeing here, on my right hand side, this is sustainable agriculture, and on my right hand side here, this is sustainable organic agriculture.
Luano is remote and largely ignored by government services and development organizations. Luano has high levels of girl-child early marriage, with girls typically married off as early as 15 to 16 years old in exchange for a few kwacha notes or maize. This happens at times of distress to reduce the number of mouths to feed in the families they come from.
It focuses on advocating for early child marriages to see that it reduces in order to encourage the young girls to go back to school. And it also encourages the adults to shift their mind so that they can also begin to learn and adopt new knowledge. I think the most interesting part of KUMENA project is to see most adults coming together willingly and eagerly to learn more, and see them trying their best to implement these programs. And a lot of them show up during the trainings, which is an encouragement that they are willing to take up. And as field facilitators under KUMENA project, we are more encouraged to see that our farmers continue to practice what they are doing.
Then twalisambire kwati mu bulimi bwa organic tulinge twabyala mone efimu tifimo.
We have also learned that in organic farming, we are supposed to plant trees like musangu, sesban, and many other things we learned, which gives fertilizer. When we add these trees together, they make the soil fertile.
Kulubalilwa ba Caritas Zambia nasanga kofimo ifisuma ifinga ntwala pantanshi kubikashibwa mchalo cha panshi.
Working with Caritas Zambia, I have learned a lot of good things that can make me flourish here on earth, especially when it comes to eating and many other things. When it comes to fertilizer, I have known that I cannot waste money, but instead, I can make organic fertilizer and add to my crops, e.g. maize, rape, pumpkin leaves, and all kinds of crops that need fertilizer. I would rather make organic manure and put in my garden.
In Kizito, the project builds on a 2011 Heifer International project, the Makasi Dairy Cooperative, that provided 40 dairy cows to 300 cooperative members. After 5 years, there are now only 96 cows, and the average morning yield has fallen to 2.5 liters.
I can assure you, after acquiring this knowledge under the KUMENA project, which is Caritas Kabwe, they took us somewhere in Kasisi where we acquired this knowledge. My animal used to produce maybe 7 in the morning, afternoon maybe 3. But this time, this animal is producing 12 in the morning, and then in the afternoon 7 liters of milk, of which the morning milk is being delivered to the MC, where we sell it to Parmalat.
Caritas supplemented the works with the intention to promote renewable energy by piloting of an inexpensive 4-meter capacity biogas system to provide gas for cooking and possibly lighting, and will determine how practical this renewable energy is for off-grid rural households.
KUMENA project is a project that is dealing with small-scale farmers, teaching them or training them how to use the natural resources that God has given us to make like fertilizer, because we've seen that most of our small-scale farmers cannot afford to buy fertilizers. As a result, this is how KUMENA came about, to help small-scale farmers provide food for their families.
In Liteta, farmers have for years relied totally on subsidized chemical fertilizer, but now find their soil so desperate in need of revitalization. This is where Caritas is assisting in the transfer of sustainable agriculture knowledge, SOA, and practical skills. This is done through practical trainings in SOA, a farming practice that maximizes production by ensuring that the environment is used and managed sustainably as it uses little external resources.
Nga tulibe ndalama yagula fertilizer, isibete wasenzesa manure. Then manure futi.
When you don't have money for fertilizer, it's better to use manure. Our good soil is now spoiled of using fertilizer and chemicals, e.g. weed killer.
Makamaka mawidi killer yamenetima sevenzesa.
8 field staff have been engaged who will live within the 3 communities and work with the participating farmers to mentor them in SOA.
I'm working with the farmers, and my farmers are 131, and for those farmers we are targeting those farmers who are not able to, who can't afford to buy fertilizers,
mostly is training farmers in the different aspects of sustainable organic agriculture. And after training the farmers, theory part, there is the part where the farmers need to go and practice what they have learned. So I make sure that after the trainings, I monitor and mentor the farmers in the activities that they have been trained on.
It's a project that is funded by the Scottish government, SCAF, Caritas Scotland, and we are promoting or training farmers in sustainable organic agriculture, which is a way of farming which does not allow the use of synthetic fertilizers or these chemical fertilizers.
This is value addition to the crops we harvest. We earn more when we make peanut butter out of the groundnuts that we grow.
I work with 4 villages, and there are 4 cooperatives, and one of the cooperatives is made up of women. The idea is to also empower women and to see women motivated to take up different roles. And working under KUMENA project, its focus mainly is on training farmers on various aspects of livelihood, such as training farmers in agriculture related, which encourages the organic farming as a practice. In this practice, farmers are encouraged not to use synthetic chemicals or inorganic fertilizers, which in return, this practice ensures that the land is the fertility of the land is retained and is maintained for continuous use of the land.
If at all, we're not managing farming by using fertilizer. Caritas has taught us that from the waste of livestock we keep, e.g. cattle, chickens, goats, including crops like soya beans and glass, we will be mixing everything and make our own fertilizer. Our friends who started earlier working with Caritas have brought different types of crops.
Caritas Kabwe, we are promoting sustainable organic agriculture. We are as well empowering women and youths, and we are also addressing issues of early marriage. Yes. We are promoting this kind of farming because every farmer can afford. It is not a type of farming which is expensive. It's affordable to everyone. Reason, they just use things around them, and this is nature. Even those who cannot afford to buy a 5 kg of artificial fertilizer, with this type of farming they can manage.
I just want to encourage Caritas Zambia under KUMENA project, because whatever you have shown to the parents, not only to the parents but us also as teachers, including the pupils, it's just been awesome. It's been wonderful. It was just something mind-blowing. We saw people creating charcoal, they were calling green charcoal, from nothing, from just God-given things, and that was just phenomenal. I also saw some vegetables being produced without the addition of these other fertilizers like urea and the compound. That was just wonderful.
I have learned a lot of good things that can make me flourish here on earth, especially when it comes to eating and many other things. When it comes to fertilizer, I have known that I cannot waste money, but instead, I can make organic fertilizer and add to my crops, e.g. maize, rape, pumpkins, and all kinds of crops that need fertilizer. I would rather make organic manure and put in my garden.
So far, we've had a number of trainings so far. We have conducted trainings in SOA, where we are training farmers in the specifics of how they can grow the crops using the organic methods. We've also done the training in vegetable production, where we have trained farmers on how to produce vegetables organically. And we've also done trainings in agroforestry, where we have trained the farmers on how best they can integrate their dairy production with the agroforest and how best they can take care of the nature itself.
The project, which targets 1,050 households, has divided the households into 30 new cooperatives, plus the Bamakasi cooperative, which is split into 10 groups of 30. Through these cooperatives, trainings in marketing, processing, and preservations are done.
Value addition ukurundulula kwa shani kwa fefi moto wa sombola imbala ngashika fe bamonta bamonta.
This is value addition to the crops we harvest. We earn more when we make peanut butter out of the groundnuts.
Other activities include literacy classes, village savings and lending association, gender, child marriage, agronomy, animal husbandry, leadership, and entrepreneurship, targeted at interested groups.
We are grateful to KUMENA for teaching us how to make a nursery using trees and plant different crops.
Caritas ensures a gender balance in their work by making sure that at least 8 cooperatives will be either all female or all youth, and trainings will be around their specific needs.
So as Caritas Kabwe, we thought of helping the community to provide and improvise water, especially looking at the program that we have as KUMENA project. We have an activity called the garden, organic vegetable garden. So we had the challenge where most of the gardens were dry because there was no water in this area. So that's how we managed to mobilize the community and talk to them, held a series of meetings with them, and we managed to build this well. It's one of the activities, and we hope that maybe this year, coming somewhere April, they will start putting up small gardens. And currently we are encouraging people to do kitchen gardens.
Bonfia organic manure. Mafia mbushi otubikisa teni twabyalira kumona.
I use organic manure. We mix goat feces and plant together with the seeds. All these plants you are seeing, I will give them to the farmers to put in their kitchen garden.
So if you're not in the kitchen garden, panu mafe ba officer batusambilisha. Naliba interested nalisanga mu kuma muri kitchen garden kupusana kona garden ile yabo kutali. So
immediately after the officer taught us, I became interested and satisfied in kitchen garden and made one which is different with the other gardens. It's good because I can cook from here and get my vegetables than going very far.
Caritas
Kabwe, in partnership with Caritas Zambia, with the support from SCIEF and the Scottish Government, through this project, aim for 60% female participation and a positive bias to female empowerment to permeate all activities. Highly vulnerable community members, including persons living with leprosy and disabilities, are actively included within the project. All in all, Caritas, through the KUMENA project, is working towards achieving, among other things, increased production, improved household income, value addition, better marketing, reduced female suffering, and improved food security.